Across the United States, a surprising trend is quietly unfolding. U.S. doctors are sending their kids to Philippine med schools. At first, it sounds almost unbelievable. Isn't American medicine supposed to be the gold standard, the dream for aspiring doctors everywhere? Why would top U.S. physicians who have access to the best resources send their children thousands of miles away, trading Ivy League prestige for a developing nation's degree? But this isn't just a headline. It's a quiet revolution, reshaping the future of American medicine in ways few expected. These are doctors who know the system inside out. They see the crushing debt, the relentless competition, and the epidemic of burnout that plagues so many young physicians. They want something different for their kids, not just an education, but a transformation that goes beyond textbooks and exams. They want their children to become doctors who see the person, not just the disease, and who treat patients with empathy and understanding. The trend is still small but steadily growing, starting with tough, honest family conversations about the future. Is the most expensive, most famous path really the best? These families are beginning to say no, challenging long-held assumptions. They're looking east, to the Philippines, a country known for its warmth, resilience, and a unique, hands-on approach to medical training. What we found challenges everything we assume about success and what it truly means to be a doctor. It's not about finding an easy way in. It's about finding a better way, a path that aligns with their values and hopes, a way that prioritizes hands-on experience from day one, immersing students in real patient care early on, a way that fosters respect for the patient and teaches the importance of listening and compassion, a way that reminds students medicine is a calling, not just a career, a lifelong commitment to service. This is the untold story of American doctors betting on a different kind of education for their children, one that could change their lives forever. They believe it will make them not just successful doctors, but compassionate human beings who make a real difference. And it all starts with one family's struggle, a decision that could shape generations. The Miller story is the first chapter in this new narrative, a journey of hope and courage. It's about questioning the American dream and discovering something even more meaningful. This is a story about redefining what it means to be a great doctor and what it means to truly succeed. And it's happening right now, in homes across America. Let's meet the Millers and see where their journey leads. Dr. David Miller, a respected and successful Chicago cardiologist, always assumed his only son, Ben, would one day follow in his footsteps and carry on the family legacy in medicine. Ben was bright, dedicated, and genuinely passionate about medicine, spending countless hours immersed in textbooks and scientific journals. He shadowed his father on hospital rounds, volunteered with patients, and maintained a near-perfect GPA throughout high school. But the American medical school system had other plans in store for him. Rejection letters began to pile up, despite Ben's impressive grades, strong MCAT score, and glowing recommendations. Dr. Miller watched helplessly as his son's confidence and self-belief slowly crumbled. The very system he'd once conquered was now crushing his own child's dreams. The cost of medical school was astronomical, over $300,000 in debt before a career even began. A burden that weighed heavily on every aspiring doctor. Debt pushed new doctors toward high-paying specialties, not primary care, distorting the very heart of medicine. Burnout was everywhere, starting long before residency, with students feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. Dr. Miller wondered, was this really the only way for his son to become a doctor? The breaking point came when Ben, discouraged and defeated, considered giving up on medicine entirely. "Maybe I'm just not cut out for it, Dad," Ben said, quietly, his voice trembling with doubt. Dr. Miller knew his son had the heart of a healer, even if he didn't have the perfect application on paper. That night, Dr. Miller resolved that he wouldn't let the system fail his son, not without a fight. He started searching for another way, determined to find a path forward. He reached out to colleagues, scoured online forums, and explored every possible alternative, refusing to give up hope. One name kept coming up in his research: the Philippines, a country known for its accessible and reputable medical schools. Could this be the answer they were searching for, a new beginning for Ben? Dr. Miller was determined to find out, ready to do whatever it took for his son's future. He wanted a path that valued compassion over competition and true care over credentials. He wanted Ben to become the kind of doctor the world truly needs: empathetic, skilled, and resilient. The search for answers would take them halfway around the world, to a place they'd never imagined. It was a leap of faith. But for Ben, it was better than giving up on his dream. For Ben, it was a second chance at the future he'd always wanted. For Dr. Miller, it was hope, a glimmer of possibility in the darkness. Their journey was just beginning, and together, they would face whatever came next. Dr. Miller dug deeper into the Philippine option, spending late nights poring over articles, forums, and testimonials from students who had taken this unconventional route. He discovered that the country's medical schools were modeled closely on the U.S. system, with many institutions internationally recognized for their rigorous standards and English language instruction. For decades, Americans, often of Filipino descent, had quietly attended these schools, blending in with local students and returning to the U.S. for residency. Their experiences largely unspoken but impactful. They passed the same board exams as U.S.-trained doctors, proving their knowledge and skills were on par with their American counterparts. The difference? Cost and philosophy. Two factors that could change a future doctor's life. Tuition was a fraction of U.S. prices, often under $10,000 a year, making medical education accessible to more families. Graduates left with little or no debt, free to choose their specialty based on passion, not just financial pressure or the need to pay off loans. But it wasn't just about saving money or escaping debt. In the Philippines, students got early, extensive clinical exposure, working with real patients from the very beginning. From the start, they worked in community clinics and hospital wards, learning medicine by doing, not just by reading. Professors were mentors, not distant academics. They guided students personally, fostering growth and confidence. Dr. Miller presented the idea to Ben, laying out the facts and possibilities over long, thoughtful conversations. At first, Ben hesitated. The Philippines felt far from his Ivy League dreams, and the unknown was daunting. But the facts, affordability, hands-on training, high U.S. success rates, sparked hope and curiosity in him. They watched testimonials from American students thriving in Manila and Cebu, their stories full of encouragement and real-world success. They learned about malasakit, deep, compassionate care that is at the heart of Filipino medicine and culture. It was a leap into the unknown, but Ben felt his dream reignite, stronger and more vivid than before. Together, they decided to take the leap, embracing the adventure and the possibilities ahead. Ben would study medicine in the Philippines, opening a new chapter in his life and career. It was a bold move, but it felt right, a decision that brought a sense of purpose and excitement. For the first time in a long time, Ben was truly excited about his future, eager to see where this path would lead. The journey was about to begin, filled with hope, anticipation, and a sense of adventure. They packed their bags and their hopes. The adventure was on, and a new dream was taking flight. Ben's arrival in Manila was a shock, in the best way. The campus buzzed with life, integrated into the city. His first class was in a simple room, not a high-tech lecture hall. Professors were practicing physicians, teaching with urgency and purpose. Clinical work started immediately. Ben was part of a team visiting a rural village. He learned to take patient histories from real people, not textbooks. Respect for patients was woven into every lesson. Students addressed everyone with po'anopo, terms of respect. The focus was on human connection, not just grades. Ben realized medicine here was about listening, presence, and compassion. The first months were tough. Heat, traffic, language barriers, and homesickness, but the warmth of the Filipino people made all the difference. Classmates welcomed Ben, sharing meals and treating him like family. He learned to adapt, becoming more patient and resilient. In rural clinics, he paid close attention to body language and tone. Humility replaced his old confidence. He was learning to connect across cultures. While U.S. peers competed in labs, Ben was learning about health's social realities firsthand. He was becoming a global citizen and a better doctor. Ben's most formative experience came in a crowded pediatric ward. He cared for Maya, a young girl with pneumonia, and supported her family in small but meaningful ways. He learned that healing means caring for the whole person and their world. In the ER, he saw trauma care with minimal resources. Doctors relied on skill and resilience, not technology. These experiences were tough, but they forged Ben's character. He learned to be resourceful, creative, and compassionate. The heart of medicine, he realized, is one human caring for another. The Philippines was teaching him what truly matters. Dr. Miller shared Ben's story with colleagues at U.S. medical conferences. Other doctors facing the same struggles with their children listened closely. At first they were skeptical, but they saw hope in Ben's transformation. The story spread quietly: phone calls, emails, dinner conversations. Dr. Lena Hansen, a pediatrician from California, sent her daughter Chloe to Cebu after hearing Ben's story. Soon, more families followed: surgeons, internists, all seeking a better path. They formed a support network, sharing tips and celebrating successes. This grassroots movement was under the radar, but growing. These parents weren't rejecting American medicine, just the pathway into it. They saw the Philippines as a superior training ground for compassionate, resilient doctors. The whispers were turning into a confident chorus. A new community was forming. The movement was real. The transformation in these students is profound. They arrive anxious, defined by grades and test scores. In the Philippines, they become adaptable, collaborative, and self-reliant. Chloe Hansen, once shy, led a community health project and found her voice. She discovered a passion for public health and a sense of purpose. These students returned to the U.S. with more hands-on experience than many peers. Residency directors noticed their maturity, resourcefulness, and bedside manner. They're not just clinically competent, they're culturally competent. Ben, once defeated, is now confident and compassionate. He plans to work in underserved U.S. communities. The greatest need is on the front lines, he says. Their journey isn't just about medicine, it's about rediscovering their calling. They return as healers, not just doctors. This movement is finally getting noticed. Medical journals and forums are talking about the high quality of Philippine-trained doctors. It's forcing a conversation. What is the true purpose of medical education? The Philippine model offers a powerful alternative: affordable, hands-on, and compassionate. It's not about prestige, but about humanity. The American system excels in research, but may miss the art of healing. The Philippines preserves empathy, resilience, and humility. These are essential skills for any doctor. American families are choosing humanity over prestige. What kind of doctor would you trust with your life? The answer may surprise you.